I didn't understand the arpeggios at first because I thought that you were just playing random notes in the scale, but it all sounded the same, and it also sounded really pretty. But then later on, I actually understood how it relates to the scale and what you're playing.
Coming from a kind of a choral singing background, scales didn't bother me too much, but understanding how the modes work together, knowing that in a key, each note has its own mode that flows into the other modes, and how changing between chords in a specific song can give you a whole new set of tools. That was probably the most difficult to understand.
I think memorizing shortcuts. I think I overthought everything, and memorizing shortcuts really made it helpful. And I did not do that, which you really should do.
Probably learning arpeggios. I don't know why, it just felt a little hard for me. And that's only on uke, I think, that I've done it. So it was a little hard my first time, but after I go to keyboard and drums doing it, it would probably be a lot more easier for me.
Everything about it made little sense to me at first. It's very
so weird.
Yeah. It's something you have to kind of wrap your head around and go back to, and then you get it a little bit more, and then you go back to it again, and then you finally you realize what exactly it is, and then it just clicks and it feels amazing.
Yeah, when I started learning piano, I didn't know anything about notes or anything. I was just playing by ear, and then when I started learning notes, I was so much easier to learn new songs, and you could actually play with other people because they say, okay, play this, and I could just play that, and it was really cool.
It just unlocks a whole new level of guitar or any other instrument.
I mean, you have to practice a lot of them. They're very, it's important to know scales and other things like that. Mm-hmm. Helps you warm up and do other things.
I think it helps a lot because otherwise you would be just memorizing stuff and you don't know how to apply it to music. But once you know and you understand, you are actually playing better and you know how to get better too.
And I thought it was important to understand what notes go in each chord and then figuring out what number is corresponding to each note in the scale. That way you can figure out some jazz stuff too. That one was hard for me.
Music, okay, theory is actual music. Playing songs and covers is like learning tricks. It's to actually play music with a group that you can actually make songs or just improv, you need to know theory. And just learning songs is basically just learning tricks.
Understanding theory and how it relates to my instrument, I would definitely say that is probably one of the biggest key things that I lacked as a musician up to the point of taking a little bit of lessons and learning all of that. I knew tablature, but I didn't know why the tablature worked. And learning the theory behind each scale and learning how everything flows together really made me look at tablature and say, well, I don't need this anymore. I can look at just basic chords on its own, and knowing where it falls in the key, I can figure out exactly what's being played. And in the heat of the moment when I'm playing with a live band or playing as a musician, you don't have time to kind of sit there and think about tablature, you just have to go on feel. And when your feel is what the theory provides, you can play infinitely more precise and better with other people and by yourself.
If you don't learn theory, then you can't really do anything. Well, not you can't do anything. You can't do important stuff. You could say every song has a scale in it, kind of. It's made out of a scale. So if you don't know your scales, then you don't know your songs.
Well, it kind of turns music into a language that you can bounce ideas off of other people because you can because you can't just speak music. You have to learn a way to translate it. So that's the way you translate it, and it's helpful.
Yeah, it's, theory is absolutely necessary if you want to play with other people.
All right, so theory can be really daunting at the beginning, but the more you get into it, it really, really makes it easier for you to get to learn new ideas and especially to collaborate with other people. It gives you a common language where you can communicate with each other, and it's incredibly helpful. Again, this video might have had a lot of terms that were a little bit foreign to you, so you can check down in the description. We might have some videos linking to those ideas, and if we don't, leave us a comment and we'll update and as time goes on and add those in there. So, have a great day or whatever. We'll see you the next time around.